It was fine from the first sight because it was pretty, right? But I got to know her, I got to realize she's actually very smart. Very smart. Beauty is the number one asset. And I'm attracted to intelligence.
They always said that Nigerian people are criminals. There are a lot of Yahoo people. Yeah? I actually did. I did even in the police station. I did my investigation.
Yeah, the police station, but in Nigeria or in the UK?
Polish women, you guys are something else. Like, when he hit me, I realized that I need to be a man in the traditional sense of an ancient Yoruba man. Because an ancient Yoruba man is not the Russian man that you have now. All their nails are well manicured.
He couldn't even put nail in the wall.
I would have to afford to pay someone to have the picture frame.
And she wasn't even gonna stick it. Nails, just stickers. And he still asked someone to come and do it.
Yeah, so she hung it, and I'm like, you know what? If she can do it, I'm gonna do it. So from then, after I met her, she said her dream has always been to move to one country, either in Africa or in the Caribbean. So, another thing. But things were difficult for our children. The older one was being bullied.
I started to hear from the parents that they actually bullying my son. So I think it's because the place wasn't that diverse.
The same, pointing at them that they are the one who did this, and that not the Finnish kid, not the Swedish kid. It is always them. So I had tears in my eyes because I know exactly when you receive some
We
calls.
had to remove him from school. And we started to go into the homeschooling. And then we started to educate ourselves how the homeschooling looks like. So we removed them from school, both of them straight away. And then one day we were sitting and, okay, so now we have a remote job. Kids are homeschooled, so there's nothing that is actually stopping us to just...
What happens when two cultures, two continents, and two families fall in love? You get drama, you get joy, you get challenges, you get wahala. And sometimes that wahala is incredibly sweet. Welcome to our Sweet Wahala. My name is Natalia Mufutau, and each week I sit down with Nigerians and their partners from across the globe to talk about everything, from in-law drama to the powerful love that holds it all together. Let's dive into today's story. My name is Natalia Mufutau, and welcome to our Sweet Wahala. Today we have a very special guest, very close to my heart, because Alicia is from Poland and David is Yoruba, so it's me and my husband. I'm very curious to know your story, guys, so welcome, Ekabo.
Thank you.
I know that everyone wants to know how you guys met, because for those who don't follow Alicia, you don't know that they're living actually in Nigeria. Before we go to that question, I would like to find out a little bit, how much do you know about each other's culture? I have 4 questions about Polish culture and 4 questions about Yoruba culture. Who are we going to start from?
I think you should go first.
Okay.
Because thank you.
Alicia is a piece of cake, 100% sure. Okay, so the first question is about the Yoruba cuisine. What is a amala made from? What type of flour?
Mala is made from yam skin that is dry in the sun and then blended.
Very well. There is a reason why Alicia called herself Olonja. Is it like a white woman eating, or?
Yeah, I think so. I took this name as a foodie or white person that loves to eat.
So people think it's a white person that likes to cook,
Oh.
but she likes to eat more than cook.
Okay. I love that. Now the second question. In Yoruba culture, what is the traditional title for a father-in-law?
Traditional title.
Yeah.
Daddy.
I will give you a hint. A father of a husband in Yoruba.
Or in Yoruba language. Don't ask me about the Yoruba language.
Support your wife.
So this is interesting.
Yeah.
The actual name title for your father-in-law, it is for your father-in-law, is considered disrespectful. So is what you will then call like my brothers, your brother-in-laws. That's actually for your father-in-law. There you go.
Very good. Yes, that's very
That's
correct.
That's the answer.
Oh, not that bad.
David, can we give Alicia half a point?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Third question. At Nigerian weddings and ceremonies, what is the name for the special uniform fabric worn by family members to show unity and support.
She won't know it because I don't subscribe to that. I don't own any.
He never, if we are going for the party, he will never match with the rest of the family. He hates even going to the party.
I'm done.
I like the party, so I'm paying the price.
I can come to the party.
But he's money. He don't like to spend money on clothes.
No, Ijebu likes to spend money on clothes.
Okay, but you are more Ijebu than Ijebu people.
Tell you guys that we had a housewarming party and we just prepared a lot of food, entertainment, and we just invited people. People came and they were like, why you didn't want to make money from this housewarming party? Why you didn't have us buy this Asho Ebi? Because Asho Ebi is the answer for that question.
It's Asho Ebi.
So are they making money on the back of it?
To be fair, the money they are making is insignificant. But they want to just, it's like they want to show off. Everybody wants to, I don't know. I feel like I can't speak against this part of my culture. But it's about actually oppressing each other. It's not even about celebrating each other.
Because when you go to the wedding, it's like you have to buy the gift and then you support the couple as well. And you have to pay for the tailor because basically you're buying just the material from the couple. So there's a lot of extra cost occurred that, Now the last questions, and it's about the Nigerian proverb. Can you please help me, David, with the translation?
Yes, my dad would be proud of me hearing this. The king's house that got burnt down, it only adds to his beauty, to be honest. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it means.
It's correct, yes.
What does that mean?
I understand that the king already lost one. So there is the pain, additional pain to it, and you will see more beauty in the one that you will have next because you will appreciate more. I think there is like power coming in from the one that has been burnt. Is that right?
Oh, wow. I think she should get 2 points for that.
Bravo.
Okay, can we give Alicia 2 points for this one? Because I really loved the way she answered it.
Of course, she has to win. I can't win, so she has to win. Give her 10 points.
Normally, for this person that wins, I always say that if Alicia is cooking, if she's going to win, you will take over her responsibilities for a week so she can relax.
No, that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, we will see.
But David, you have a chance to win as well, so Alicia can take it over too. Let's see. Okay, and now the question about the Polish cuisine. So we're gonna talk about one of the most famous Polish stew, which is bigos. And then it has a very distinctive sour flavor. And do you know what is it made from?
Sour stew.
It's a cabbage.
Yes, very good. I'm impressed.
But that's the only thing Alice cooks, though.
It's my favorite.
Okay, I have now the second question about the Polish weddings and celebrations. In Poland, what spirit is often called the water of life and is a staple at the weddings and celebrations? So when you go to the Polish wedding, what is the number one drink that we call the water of life? You can drink that.
Not the vodka.
Yes.
Zdrowie.
Na zdrowie. I think
I would say
Alicia
vodka.
introduced you properly to our culture. 1 point.
Oh, yeah.
And then the question about in-laws. How do you call in Polish your wife's mother? So your mother-in-law, how do you call her in Polish?
I call her.
Kochana means like a lovely, okay? Like love.
Yes, because I'm peace.
Babcia is a grandma.
So I call her when the kids are there, it's Bacha. When the kids are not there.
Yes, like in the Yoruba culture. Yes, okay. I can give you half a point for this, Kochana, because this is how my husband always calls my grandma. He always says, Babcia. It means, grandma, I love you. And that's basically more or less what he knows to say to my grandma. But the Polish language is
and it works. But would grandma smile afterwards? If grandma smiles, he's won.
Yes.
He's correct.
And most likely she will understand because sometimes she cannot understand his Polish. So with this one, she's able to understand.
Lovely.
And the last one is the Polish proverb. In English, it means when there are 6 people cooking in the kitchen, there is nothing to eat.
I guess when there's too many hands working on something, you will never achieve success.
Exactly. Yes.
6 people are cooking. when it's ready, I don't think I want to eat that food that 6 people cook.
Very good. So it's like there's chaos, disorganization, and so on. It's just too much. Okay, guys. Well done, no? So there's a draw, 3.5 point and 3.5 point for each of you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Give her my own 3.5. I beg. Let her.
If you give your points, you are going to cook.
For 1 week.
Yeah, for 1 week.
Well,
eh?
if she will absolve me of the responsibility because she won. She wants to win. She won. So behind closed doors, she will say, "Don't worry, don't mind." So I win too. Everybody wins. I'm okay with that.
I love that. Alicia, is that okay?
See, I told
Okay.
you, 7 points. You're the best. Well done.
All about communication and understanding, guys. Okay, thank you. So the
That's
quiz
it.
part is officially over. Now I want to ask, how and where have you guys met?
We met in church in
Yeah,
England.
people met in church.
Was this the love
Yeah.
from the first sight? How did it develop?
It was fine from the first sight because it was pretty, right? But I got to know her. I got to realize she's actually very smart. Very smart. Ability is not her number one asset. Yeah. And I'm attracted to intelligence because I get repulsed by stupidity. There's too much stupidity in the world I live in now. It's hard to build something in this world where everybody is trying to be shallow. So it's hard to find that depth in someone you can have a conversation with for hours on something that's important to two of you. And she can match that level of intelligence. Maybe not in the same way, but reflect intelligence in a unique way. So when I found that out, I was like, I think I'm going to keep this one.
What about you, Ali? What made you fall in love with David?
So I think at the time when I met him, I was young and adventurous, spontaneous, but he was completely opposite than me. So I wasn't sure, but how this gonna work if we are just completely opposite people? And then when I spoke to my mom, she said, yeah, but it's good that he's not actually your type in her character. So that means he will be a good fit. So I said, okay, maybe I will try to go for another date.
Wow, it's not easy to get an approval of the Polish mother-in-law so quickly. Well done.
That's why she's Kohana.
Everything is clear, yeah?
I say to her, yes.
So how many years ago was that?
Too long now to remember, to be honest. But our oldest son is 8 now, and the youngest is 5, and there's another one on the way. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Okay, can I officially congratulate you?
Yeah, but
I can see a lot
you
of
can congratulate. I will take that any day. Thank you.
But do you want the girl or the boy?
I got what I wanted. I'm not going to tell you, but I got what I wanted. I already have 2 boys, so I'm not sure what I want, but I got what I wanted.
Sometimes it's good to have that last try.
I know that's what my husband tells me. I said, no, forget about it. I cannot, because it's not like I will order it and it will come a girl. It's not possible.
But it's your turn, Natalia. You can have a go.
I think at the moment we need to raise our 3 boys, because with 2 boys, it's not easy. With 3 boys, it's even more difficult. I don't know if with 4 boys, how do I know if it's a girl or not? I need to rest.
And then they had twins, so there is always possibility to have.
Well, no. If
Oh
you
my
guys are living in
goodness, I
Nigeria,
forgot
then
about
you'll be
this.
fine.
Thank you, Alicia. So now there is a definite no.
Sorry, I hope your husband will forgive me.
But I'm very, very happy about you guys, and I wish you a lot of health and patience. And please, David, take care of Alicia now, please.
I'm already giving up myself. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Mama. Thank
So
you.
take us back to when you guys were dating. What kind of misconceptions about each other's countries did you have?
My misconception was in Poland, we always say that they will have 3 wives, and especially in England, they would say they will have even wife in Nigeria, because there's always that one wife from Naija and wife from abroad. But he was actually raised in England. He spent there a long time.
Yeah. I had to defend that for many years. I had a wife. I left Nigeria as a young child. I was not old enough to get married. It was a bit of a challenge. And it's not just necessarily a misconception that she had in isolation, because maybe she had a friend that's married a Nigerian guy, and the Nigerian guy had black drama. it was a general misconception in Europe. It took a while to give her peace of mind. And that's one of the reasons why she wanted to come to Nigeria. Because somehow she felt like she'll figure out who that woman is.
I wanted to ask
Oh,
you, you did
holiday.
some investigation, Alicia, because I did some investigation myself. Did you do any investigation on your own?
I did.
She's Polish now.
And especially, they always said that Nigerian people are criminals. There are a lot of Yahoo people. Yeah, I actually did. I did even in the police station. I did my investigation.
At the police
Did
station,
it.
but in Nigeria or in the UK?
No, UK. It was more about the criminal records and like the past. In Poland, you cannot do that because we have RODO. In England, you are allowed to just go and check someone else.
I did not even know this at the time. Remember, I'm the church guy, right? She's the maybe church, and she's the one checking me. And
Because
I'm
it
like,
was too good to be true. Show me your true colors. I'm waiting for your true colors.
Because there's so much that people talk about Nigeria, all this and Naija prince, etc. It is natural, and I don't think there is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just you are going to be with the guy, and he's going to be a father of your children. So it is natural. You have to make sure that he's okay. But it's good to know. So for all the women that are the one, they are based in the UK. And then what they want to check the guy they are dating. So Alicia gave us a hint that you can go to the police station and check the criminal records. I think that's important. What about you, David? Have you done your own investigation about Alicia?
so because I work in finance, there are some questions that you will ask a person, and it will paint an even better picture than doing a police criminal check. Right? I've worked in finance for so long, so I was asking questions to figure out some things. And in the end, I got my answer in a much more civil way, asking her directly instead of snooping around. But yeah, in terms of my misconceptions, I expected or assumed that Polish women or Slavic women are similar to British women or American women. And you guys are like nations apart. Literally, you are nations apart. But in terms of the culture, in terms of the mannerisms, in terms of you guys, in fact, let's say you guys are universes apart, like world apart. It's crazy. You watch this American film, oh hello, and this and that, right? Yeah, Polish woman, you guys are something else. Like when he hit me, I realized that I need to be a man in the traditional sense of an ancient Yoruba man, because an ancient Yoruba man is not the Russian man that you have now, or Yoruba man now that all their nails are well manicured, they have soft skin.
Beauty story. This is why I chose my husband. There were two guys I was interested in, and one was a footballer with the like big career and so on. And second was my husband who was doing 3 cleaning jobs. He was in Finland, I think, for a year. He was studying full time, a master's at the same time. And he slept for 4 hours a day just to make sure that he sends enough money back to Nigeria because he was the eldest and the first that traveled to Europe with 1,000 euros in his pocket, and there was no more money coming from Nigeria. So he was this kind of man that, and when I touched his hands, it was so hard. It was so hard. And then this other guy hand was so soft because, of course, football, what do? You play football, you don't do that much. And actually the hands, I've never talked about it before, but I decided because of the hands that I would like to go with my husband because in anything happened, I knew that he will be able to protect me and our children. So you are very correct, David.
Yeah. It takes a Slavic woman or a Polish woman to be able to think that way, because you guys have been attacked by Russia. You guys have been through a lot. And now I understand that history. I studied American history in college and the Second World War. So I know a lot of what happened in Central Europe, Eastern Europe, and the role that America and the UK played and Britain played. However, what I did not realize is that something that happened in the 1940s is still impacting what the females are like. I used to be that guy with a soft hand. My wife, being in England, she needed to make sure we met in England. She needed that guy with that soft hand. But when the guy with the soft hand, yes. So she needed that because it's more expensive to be paying bills in pounds. So let's just be clear, right? However,
I was looking for supply.
Very quickly, there was an instance when we just moved in together. After we settled down, there was this picture on the wall that I wanted to hang right in my room.
He was calling people to do it for him. He couldn't even put nail in the wall, like,
I would have to afford to pay someone to hang the picture frame.
and he wasn't even in a stickers. No nails, no, just stickers. And he still asked someone to come and do it for him.
And then I overheard the guy say, "Who do I think I was?" He was white. He was English. Who do I think I was? I'm always busy. And I was going to give him 20 pounds to hang a picture frame for me. It would take you 10 minutes, and I'm giving you 20 pounds. Your hourly salary was probably at the time maybe £6, £7 an hour. So I realized that this thing can be hard. I don't like it when it looks like something is going to be
I
as if.
started to hang your pictures.
Yeah, so she hung it, and I'm like, you know what? If she can do it, I'm going to do it. So from then, I've changed. I still work in finance now. I work in investment in Nigeria. My hands are still soft Monday to Friday, right? Weekends, they are hard because I'm planting, I'm farming, because my wife wants this water. I built this because I realized that to make sure that she continues to fall in love with a man, I almost need to make sure that I can do better than even a Polish guy, because everybody knows Polish men are some of the best workers in the world. Like the best workers that works with them. In the UK, if you want a good plumber, you better go and get the Polish guy. If you want a good builder, you better get the Polish guy. Even the software that we were using in the UK, they were brought in from Poland. So everybody knows that Polish people can work. So I personally, I'm like, imagine if I'm only soft hand. She likes the soft life. But if some bald Polish guy comes, right, with his beer belly, and he can do all the work in the house, and then he's drinking a bottle of vodka at the same time.
Come on, that's a
He
stereotype.
everything. I take care of you.
Ah.
I'm sorry, but I saw insecure. I'm like, what? No.
Yeah, he learned step by step. Yeah, he started to buy tools, like all this, like storage in the garden started to be filled with like crazy tools. He started to do gardening, like all this crazy stuff. And when we came to Nigeria, he actually built house by himself. Like he had people working for him. Like, he was managing everything. He was even putting his hands there. Like he was doing, like he was there all the time, managing all the project, like sleeping here, staying day and night.
You see what a love can do to a man. It means you are a very good
No,
wife.
thank you.
Okay, guys, take us back. You met in the UK, and at what point have you decided to move to Nigeria? Because I can imagine that it was a very big decision for your family.
I think from a few years ago when we came to Nigeria for holiday, we went enjoy ourselves. We stayed 2 months.
Yes.
And then after that, there was always this in the back of our heads that we might want to go and live in Nigeria.
When I was looking for Mrs. Right, I actually came to Nigeria to look for a woman. But Nigerians, when they hear that they only want to japa, they don't want to return. So I spent a while in the UK speaking to girls, as you do, and we'll talk about what aspirations are. I will eventually return back to Nigeria to go and enjoy my life, right? And many Nigerians in the UK did not like that. It was crazy to them. What? I came to Nigeria and looked for people. So I went back to the UK and said, God, you will have to show me the right person. Because I knew that for me, UK life was just crazy. The weather, and mainly if you work in finance, you will be eating your glass ceiling in your 20s. Literally, in your 20s and 30s, you're eating your glass ceiling. And you can move firms, but they can raise that glass a little bit for you. But yeah, it's ridiculous. So that has always been there. When I met her, she said her dream has always been to move to one country, either in Africa or in the Caribbean. I said, yes. Another thing. So yeah, you can continue from the past, like a few years ago, why we actually moved at the time that we did. She loves crazy things and great things. The plan was that we would work for a long time. Maybe when the kids are about to go to uni, then we'll support them and gradually move here. But things were difficult for our children. The older one was being bullied. And it just made sense that with the level that we were in our professions, we can easily work remotely for international firms. We've built career expertise, so we didn't necessarily need to be going to an office. Plus, going to an office alone as a Black person working in an environment where you are the only Black person, it's not fun.
You were the only
Then you
one.
might- In many cases, yes, I was the only Black person in the office
Wow.
of hundreds of white people. And in many cases, one of the youngest, probably the most educated. It's not fun. I remember one of my line managers told me, I think it was like 12 years ago, that at the rate of which I kept on amassing professional qualifications, he said, I will be much more qualified than the CEO of the company. Imagine. I think I was still in my 20s. When someone is telling you that you are studying too much, at this level, you are going to be more qualified than our CEO. And he said that to a room full of people. He told me, but that's probably what everybody else is thinking. When you are looking to bring your family to Nigeria, forget if they are white or Black. If your family has moved abroad and they are used to that system, don't bring them to Nigeria and then take them into the bush somewhere. For us, we stayed on the island. It was a bit of experiencing the reality, because if we just stayed at a beach hotel somewhere and it was all fun, right? Subconsciously, she knows that's not the reality. So what we did was we did not go into a hotel. We rented an apartment in Lekki, I think in Lekki Phase 1. It was nice, like a home. We cooked our own food and we were free, right? So we really got to integrate. She loved the churches.
We rented office.
Yes, we even rented an office during holidays, right? I was trying to paint that realistic picture so she can deal with some of the challenges. And being the Polish person she is, right? She can see that, yes, there are challenges here, but some of these challenges are not even as crazy as the ones she experienced growing up in places like, I probably shouldn't mention where you grew up. Not everywhere in Europe is perfect and beautiful. In fact, Lekki was more advanced than areas where she grew up as a child, because I went there.
So I want to contribute to
imagine?
that because I understand,
Sure.
Alicia. I also grew up in poverty. And it is true that when I went to Nigeria, especially going to Banana Island and Eco Atlantic, it was so impressive that I was thinking why Nigerians value more what is abroad instead of advancing where they are. But I think that's another topic. I understood, David, that you were the one who actually thought about your career and wanted to advance. And that's the reason why you guys have moved. What about Alicia's job?
Yeah, one of it. Speak about your job here.
When I came, I was able to work remotely, and so I was keeping a job in the UK. Now I have my own marketing agency, so I'm working with English clients and Polish clients as well.
Wow, so it
So
was
we
really
don't
good for
really
you guys.
do-
It was smooth. I'm very happy to hear that you guys are a good example, because often people move and only one has a job and the second one, normally the Oyibo part, needs to look for a job in Nigeria and start over again. But in your case, it was different. I'm very happy about it.
Because we planned it, like we wrote it down on the wall, what we need to do to get to this point. So remote job was really important for us, to get. So we were working like few years to work this, to be like completely remote.
The journey for us to be here started when there was all this frustration and my kids being bullied.
That was the plan for a longer term, but then at some point we had these remote jobs, and our son started to be bullied at school.
Yeah.
So we had to remove him from school, and we started to go into the homeschooling, and we started to educate ourselves how the homeschooling looks like. So we removed them from school, both of them straight away, and then one day we were sitting and okay, so now we have a remote job, kids are homeschooled, so they have there's nothing that is actually stopping us to just.
Babe, I love how you say it. It's so easy the way you say it. I wish it was that. In the UK, I practice as a financial advisor, regulated financial advisor, and I've planned people's life, right, from whenever I met them to retirement. And I successfully helped many of my clients retire, and when they want to retire, and do what they want to do in retirement. And that's key, very important. So I use that knowledge to say, look, my kids are being bullied now. We removed them from school. We're only able to do that because my job was not, it was remotely, but really it's just, I'm supposed to go to client home addresses and have meetings with them. So if I needed to look after the kids, because she needed to go somewhere, I would arrange my meeting to fit that calendar. So now the kids are at home, we have no choice. We have to work remotely. That was when flexibility for our careers became number one. This conversation we are having will become the norm in the next 10 years. Income is good, but flexibility is because when you are flexible with your work, you will live healthy, your wife will be happy, you won't be sick all the time. She talked about us writing. So yeah, we had the list, flexibility was key, and then other things followed. Thank God we were able to, yes, there were times that we had pay cuts. There was even a time in the UK that I went to actually work in tech, someone working in finance. People are struggling with the move because they are afraid of starting all over. I'm not afraid of starting all over because when my father moved us from Nigeria to the UK, things were challenging. My father used to drive 3 cars. Even now, I don't have 3 cars, but my father had 3 cars. And then we started from the beginning. So I'm not afraid to start from the beginning. So in the UK, before coming to Nigeria, I switched completely from finance because finance is different. If you work in tech, you can work globally, right? Your skills and talents are relevant regardless of where you are. But if you work in finance in the UK, it's different from finance in Nigeria because of the laws. So I had to switch. I went to work in tech. It's not as straightforward and easy as she said. It was a problem after problem. And we made a decision to focus on flexibility. And at that point, we were then working in tech. And the kids are being homeschooled. Everything was good, but we're paying crazy bills. This job, we can do it anywhere in the world.
I work in tech too.
Yeah.
We both actually started together in different.
That was crazy.
Because I can see that you planned very well, that you had the list. I don't often hear that the couples, they plan so well, but you guys even had a list on the wall. So what did you put on the list?
Yeah.
So David,
The list next to our bed on the wall. On the list, the first thing is flexibility. Second thing is something that doesn't just pay now, but will provide future relevance, right? So for me, the second thing would have been finance because I've built a career in that, but it would provide future relevance, but I could not use it. So I had to remove finance and sacrifice it for tech. And tech will still give future relevance, but you need to start from somewhere. So it was flexibility, meaning you can work anywhere. And second was a job that you can build a career on, or a role that you can set up a business in. So that's number 2. Number 3 was income. And income for us, if you plan your life in such a way that you don't focus on making money, you focus on spending less money, right? You'll be a completely free person. Everybody focus on making more money. Yes, me too. But my effort in learning how to spend less money is greater in comparison to my efforts in learning how to make more money because inflation is guaranteed. Nothing is ever going to get cheaper.
What about Alicia? Alicia, what did you put on the list for yourself?
We are brainstorming.
Wow. Brainstorming. I did not believe it would work. She did not believe it would work.
Wow. I'm so happy for you guys.
He always carries his whiteboard, and sometimes he's standing like a professor, and then I'm sitting like a student.
No, you don't think okay. It's not going to work. No.
It's us now. It's us. In Poland, we have a saying that the man is the head and woman is the neck. We are the one deciding about the direction.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to ask, because you said something important about the bullying of your children at school. Can you please open up about what happened? I think it was very important and it's really affected the life of your family.
Yeah, it happened to the eldest one. At some point in England, we were looking for like a place where the best school for our children, so we can settle that. So we picked like the best town, literally in the north of England. So we picked really good school, and he went to do his like primary 1 there. But I started to hear from the parents that they actually bullying my son. So I think it's because the place wasn't that diverse, and him being mixed with Black and Polish. They don't like Polish people in many places in England, and they don't like Black people. I think this was the case. I know that the school, instead of doing anything, put blame on another mixed race child. Like this child started to not look too racist. So they put blame on a mixed race. We couldn't do anything.
It was terrible.
I only heard from other parents.
Yeah, and it was clear that some of the parents of these children, because sometimes you have to ask yourself, how is it possible that racism can continue to thrive? When I was a young student, a teenager, I had many white friends. Black people have been in England for hundreds of years. So black people fought in the First and Second World Wars. So clearly, like, we are all humans. How is racism being kept alive? But I was able to see it. And that's because the parents were proactively engaging and ensuring that their kids would treat someone else different based on the color of the skin. Racism, nobody's born to be a racist. It is taught. Because of that, when you're in England and you have a newborn baby that's mixed race, oh, your baby is so cute. Oh my God. You get that. And I was like, my wife, I said, babes, this, you are cute, that you say to your baby. These same people are going to be the one that will call the police on him that he's doing something that he's not doing. That it changes. So when that thing was happening, Brandon was 4 at the time.
5 years old, yeah, primary one. 5 years old. This is small little children. Like, they were not supposed to be even in a school. Like in Poland, they don't start till they are 8. So it was sad to look at something like this. The younger one in the class, because in England it's different. The system is like from 1st of September.
Born in August, which meant that he was in class with everybody else that could have been born a year prior. It was tricky, but it guaranteed that same treatment will happen to my youngest son. So I'm like, do I really want to work with that? And me, if it's clear to me that something is going to be a problem for me in the future, I'd rather act now and make a drastic change. They were not happy when we actually took the kids away from school, were they?
And like I said before, this was actually the best school, the best town to live, the best school to go. So there was no other option for us. That's how I felt.
I just got emotional because I know my kids also are facing similar problems. They don't go to diverse school. They are the only mixed kids. No, there are one more twins. I think there's over 1,000 kids or 800 kids, and they are like 4. The other girls, the twins, they are from Ethiopia. So we face the same problems, and it's the same pointing at them that they are the one who did this, and not the Finnish kid, not the Swedish kid. It is always them. So I had tears in my eyes because I know exactly when you receive some calls, my boys are 8, when you receive calls from the teachers saying your son did this, your son did that, and then the kids come home and say, no, we were not the only one. There were other kids there. We did it together, but who received the call? Only us. So I totally understand you and I support you. I think your kids will be so grateful to you for because I guess you had to arrange the whole life once again once you homeschool the kids. So I think it was a difficult decision for you.
Yeah, homeschooling the kids, that's when we discovered so many flaws in the educational system. Generally because you have 1 or 2 teachers to 20 kids. Whereas in the house, when we were teaching them ourselves, they were able to learn. Even though Brandon was 4, he could not draw a line. And it wasn't, we were paying, right? But could not draw a line. And then I decided to test during holidays, see what I can do. Within a month, he's gone from not being able to draw a line to writing his name by himself. And I realized that Brandon is smart because his mom is smart. So where is it coming from that they're telling us he's stupid? Oh, they won't say he's stupid. They will say he's special. He's got special needs. But for us, I realized that the kids are very intelligent and 1 hour with them equates to a week in school. The only benefit that you're getting from school, in my opinion, is to have other children to engage with, to play with. So I bought a lot of things into the house. I bought a big trampoline. I bought a big swimming pool. My house will then become the park. So whilst my kids cannot go to the school to mingle with their mates, as soon as school finishes, all the kids in the neighborhood will want to come and play with my kids. So they will get that interaction. And in Nigeria, because we brought all those things here. And it's even helping us. We didn't know we would be in Nigeria. Because even in Nigeria, we tried education. Education in Nigeria is much better. Yeah.
They said if they want, when we asked if they want to go back to school, they said, yeah, right. In Nigeria, not in England.
What are your responsibilities now as the parents to the homeschooled kids? How has your life changed?
I think even if it comes to homeschooling children, it's even more relaxed if it comes to routines. Because when you have a kids in school, you need to wake up early, get them ready. There's this rush, shouting, put your shoes on. Where is my uniform? Blah blah blah. Brush your teeth. I think the mornings are more relaxed.
Yeah. And it helped. I think I understand arguments from people that say that I understand what they say when they say education is a scam. But I also understand that you need education. Okay, it's important. I think the balance is ensuring that you can take what you need from education itself as an important, intrinsic, invaluable part of life. Take what you need from that and adapt it into everyday life. My 8-year-old feeds our dogs. Like you can imagine an 8-year-old being able to feed German Shepherds, Bulls, and all. They respect him. Like there's some leadership techniques that you won't be able to learn even in your MBA that my 8-year-old is learning. Sometimes I'm watching it because I did not experience that freedom. I'm watching it, and sometimes he's able to anticipate when this one would misbehave, and he knows the dog that will probably tear him into pieces. So he knows how to respect that dog. And you want all those dynamics. They have been homeschooled. In terms of the educational part of it, yes, they are advanced. But in terms of general learning every day, they get to do a lot of things in the house. We used to have house helps. At one point, we had 5 or 6 staff because we wanted to come to Nigeria and enjoy. But Nigeria now is different to Nigeria like 20 years ago, right? A lot of people don't want to work, right? They're trying to take advantage of it, right? No matter how much you try and help, people will say, right? That means when you look after somebody and they are happy, like you look after your employee and your employee is happy, their mind will want to work more. That is how it should be. But now in Nigeria, this suffering is the only thing that makes them behave. It's the only thing that makes them work a little bit hard. How many employees have I taken on where I've doubled theirs? Wherever they're earning, I'll pay you double. Because I understand you need to feed your family. I'll pay you double. But yes, so what we've done is we in one day I just fired everybody. People thought I was crazy. But my kids have been homeschooled and they're able to do so much. They're able to do so much. And obviously interact with technology as well. With that, education is actually fun. Honestly.
And they want to do it. It's like they have this mind. If they want chocolate, they will say, what can I help you with? Yeah. And then they will help me and say, okay, can I get my salary now? Or money as well. They will ask for money. Yeah. They have always different ideas as well. For example, one day my son will come out, I'm writing a book, because I'm going to be selling my books. For the next few weeks, he was focusing on writing stories in his book, selling vegetables. Yeah. He's speaking and then sitting with the vegetables, he's selling vegetables. And he's actually offering to builders that were coming and buying. Yeah, that's true. So obviously, he was selling vegetable that was worth like maybe 10,000 naira for 200 naira because he doesn't understand pricing yet. I did not teach him that. Yeah. He can see people here. He can see something that's valuable and he wants money. What does he want money for? He wants to go on holiday somewhere. Mm-hmm. When they work to get money, they're not even spending the money. We've never let them spend a naira of everything they've earned. That's investing. The rich don't necessarily spend their own money to buy. They use it anyway.
About your daily routine, because you both have full-time jobs, how do you manage with the homeschooled kids? How does your ordinary day look like?
They still have teacher that is coming to teach them. We used to do it when now obviously there is more that they need to learn because they are progressing. So the teacher is coming, but it's still more relaxed. If we want a teacher to come, we can cancel him anytime. Yeah, they can have a few weeks off if we want to, because they are still advanced. They will always be advanced.
But in terms of the routine, the kids will typically wake up when they want to wake up. To be fair, they wake up at maybe 7:30, and they have a routine. They wake up, they will tidy up their bed, go and brush it. They have all of that. So before they come and greet us, and in many cases, they will be ready, waiting outside their door, like cute little cats. They'll be waiting for us, right? So by the time we open the door, their teeth is brushed. We check in. Is it clean? Your room, this and that. So they have their routine. And then they'll probably just play and have fun for the first maybe 2 hours. They will go in the compound, run around. Because if you have a big compound and you have fruit, so many fruits growing, you want to be checking what this pawpaw is doing. If it's ripe now, if this almond fruit is ready to be harvested, you want to do all of that. You want to have a look at your chicken, right? You want to see your goats. So they'll do that for like 2 hours, right? That 2 hours, we will be working. we will be getting ready. Then they will eat breakfast. Yeah, feed our dogs. And then we probably spend, if we are teaching them more than 2 hours a day with each of them, it's more than enough. Because if you're teaching them correctly, they will be at a point where they are teaching themselves. The point of learning is so that you learn how to learn more efficiently. So if we spend 2 hours with them, they will actually go and read themselves because they don't have phones. They only watch TV maybe once every 3 days. That's 5 or 10 minutes. That's because I don't want them to not know what other kids are exposed to. So 5 or 10 minutes, once every 3 days, that is it. The majority of the learning is actually them teaching themselves, learning new words. So we're still able to work. We're not babysitting them. Kids are supposed to your job as a parent is to help your kids become independent. That's why kids don't fall from the sky. If they're able to be independent by themselves, and we're supposed to trust them to the state, then kids will be coming from factories or falling from the sky. But they come through us so we can help them be independent. And yeah, they are doing really well at that. So it's not hard, honestly. It's fun. It's fun. It's cheap. I'll never have to deal with someone who's bullying my son. It can't happen because they're actually strong as well. If you're managing 10 dogs, like which idiot will try to bully that?
That's true. And the kind of courage they learned.
You understand where we came? I will beat you.
The time when you moved to Nigeria, because you said it was 4 to 5 years ago. You also mentioned that, David, you've lived in the UK for a very long time. So it was like maybe for two of you, Nigeria was like a kind of a new discovery. How was it when you had to move with the kids? So how was it? How, like, the first cultural shocks that you experienced, and do you still remember?
Many shocks.
I can imagine.
I think the first cultural shock because I came with the different expectation that I will have no support and we will be able to provide jobs to people because they always said they are suffering here, asking for money and stuff. Yeah. The plan was to get a lot of support, focus on work, and to have all these people working for you. And then this never happened because the working culture is actually shocking here. That was really hard for the Polish person that was working in England. All life was a hustling. And then you come, you expect people to give you a similar helping hands, but they are not ready to work. So I was wondering, where is all this suffering that I have been taught about?
Suffering, but they want the government to just throw money from the sky. Because you in Europe, you're blocking money from the tree, remember?
Yes, and I think it's because the first people that are coming to work for me, they are expecting that because they don't know how it's there, how the work looks abroad. They are expecting that I had everything easier, so I will be treating them like they are treating people abroad. But they're actually abroad. It's worse than here. But they don't understand. This was very, very hard. Now I'm quite understanding the working culture, so it's a little bit easier for me. Like I know that's what to expect from persons that.
But what are the different expectations? Your expectations, Alicia, versus what you have met in Nigeria. What were your expectations?
Expectation that people will work hard.
When we came here, because in the UK, I've run a few businesses, right? And she also has had our own thing going. When you, like every other country, they will put their best foot forward. They will only show the best parts of that country. So when we were coming, yes, we were seeing the opportunities in Nigeria. We were coming with a lot of expertise, right? Whilst we're not coming to make money and this, we're coming obviously for freedom, for sanity, for our children. We knew we had a responsibility to provide opportunities in Nigeria. So we came with things like laptops because we worked out that if we could help a few more people do what we are doing in the UK, train them up and support them, it will be a good business model. These employees would get 3 times what they would have had. We were able to provide European standard to some extent anyway, because if you're collecting contracts in Nigeria, any in Naira, then you might not have been able to pay people in pounds, but comparatively, people were better off. But it was not. In the end, I think the employees even damaged a lot of laptops, damaged lots of things. So it was not encouraging because Unless you are mad, you cannot run a business in Nigeria. You need madness inside of it. A foreigner, it would be exciting because I think of Nigeria as the Wild West, America in the 1800s, right? Yes, my father is not a billionaire in dollars or pounds, but the closest thing that I'm going to get is to actually go back in time, look for a country that is still in the Wild West, opportunities now, capitalize on that chaos, find opportunities and build.
Exactly.
So yes, it's not easy. Our expectation has not been what we realize, but we are not going. Instead, we are integrating more into society, we're learning, and then we'll be able to do something. But it's shocking because if you think of it, if you pay a Nigerian in Nigeria in an environment where rent is going for like maybe ₦1 million, right? And then you paying them like 500K a month. Rent is ₦1 million, monthly salary 500K. Nigerians will never understand that they are better off than someone in the UK who is making, for example, like £10,000 a month. You know why? Because house rent takes a significant proportion of your income. Like the three main needs of humans is food, shelter, and because you have to have it, obviously, there are people that have capitalized on that. So house prices are expensive, taxes on properties are expensive. Life is actually better in a society where your rent can be met with 20% of your income. Whereas in London, your rent will eat up like 60-65% of, literally, in some cases, 70% of your income. In some cases, you pay for your house rent, you pay some of your bills, you can't even pay all of them, and then you eat, and then you repeat it. So Nigerians don't get that, and it's shocking. There's nothing they will accept until they get it themselves. But I think this present government is changing things. And I think in the next 2 years, people that have not experienced life outside Nigeria, they will struggle. Not because they are not making income, but because they have to take responsibility for their own situation. The average person in Europe or America understands that a proportion of your time every single day goes into personal admin. Personal admin meaning, are you paying your bills on time, right? Are your accounts in order? Is your address updated on your accounts properly? Those are personal admin. Nigerians don't care, right? They will have a bank account here, they will throw it, they won't worry about all those things. You can't live like that. They are bringing in taxes now. And I think it's a fantastic beginning into changing things in Nigeria with the tax changes. People will have to see tight moving forward, I think. Our shock will gradually reduce because Nigerians want Nigeria to be like Europe and America. Okay, now, let's go.
David, you mentioned that Alicia's passion was to do the gardening and grow her own food. Did you convince Alicia to do it in order to save some money, like you said, to reduce your spending? Or was it the other way around that actually it was Alicia's passion and then you realized that you can capitalize on that by saving some money?
No, this wasn't my passion.
It's her fantasy.
No, that was like when I met him, I was saying that one day it would be good to live in the countryside, have your own chickens. And fantasy. My soul.
She wasn't going to do the work.
It's just like a dream. Like, oh, yeah, one day I just want to live in the countryside.
Oh my goodness.
I have all this thing, maybe small farm. Yeah, have my own meal.
And me fighting.
I took it too serious.
I'm trying to be Zlatan, and I know for a fact that skill, that ability to be able to live and survive anywhere, it will come in handy because the world is going crazy at the moment. So I was happy to develop that skill for her. For health reasons, it made sense to grow your own food because what they're putting inside is just shocking. So it was only an additional benefit when we realized that, wait, this little thing that looks like a joke, one, it's not even hard. Grow your own food is not hard, that's one. Two, there are benefits that I've read online but sounded crazy at the time, like the benefits of walking barefoot in your garden, putting your hand in soil. I would start working in the garden or when we were building from maybe 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And I wasn't getting tired. And it wasn't making any sense to me. But the food that we were eating was healthy. And I realized that how can I be working from 6 a.m., 11 p.m. to 1 a.m.? Then I realized that the change in the food, like if you look at our pictures now, we looked older 7 years ago. We look older than the way we look now 7 years ago. So I realized that for health benefits, and it's cheaper as well, I'm definitely going to do this in the long run. Your fantasy It's saving us money. Thank God for that.
Alicia, so what do you do? Are the kids the one that
So
are helping with the garden, or is it a part of your job? How does this work?
Yes, the kids are helping in the garden. Me too.
you don't help me, guys.
I take care of animals. I take care of my chickens. Feed them. I like chickens. I find that very interesting.
She's the mother of
Like,
birds.
I don't need TV. I'm just sitting and watching chickens.
But
David,
the kids
David,
do a
you
lot
do
in the
the hard
garden. I do
work.
a lot. Occasionally, we will get staff to help. But to be fair, though, you get the food. You always do the harvest. Like whenever it's ready, you harvest it and you cook it and we eat it.
This is my own part to actually prepare the food. It's not easy to prepare your own chicken.
Yeah, that's good.
Who is the one killing
It's
the
not-
chicken?
I'm not the one killing, but someone else will kill. But we'll have to clean it and feather them, which was for me was something that I didn't know I will ever be able to do it, because before coming here I only saw chicken wing and chicken inside
Chicken nugget.
the wrapper in the supermarket, yeah. And here, so it took me even a long time to be able to eat meat here, because yeah, we're seeing them running around and then eat
Wait.
them.
How long after you eat them, fry it?
No,
Then
so
2 days later, you are eating.
like I will clean them, and then if they are long enough in the freezer, I can eat them because I will forget
Wait, stop.
which chicken.
Okay. So you put them in the freezer, and then you will remember that oh, this is Bobby
Yeah,
or
well,
this is Bella. Okay.
my kids find this a little bit easier than me, because they will sit sometimes having dinner and ask, "Oh, is that Bobby?" No, I think it's James. No, is that James or Bobby?
I think it's amazing. All those Western nonsense and being feminine and being weak and nah, scratch all that. No, screw that. Like it's life. This is reality, right? I'm an animal. Scientists say we are animals, advanced animals, right? I don't care. I need to eat an animal. I tried being a vegetarian once. It lasted for 2 months. I need meat, and the meat that I raise in my compound. Yeah, here's the thing as well that people need to understand. When you buy your own meat, when you buy maybe a goat or a cow or a sheep, look after it for a few months, let it enjoy good life. We're about to slaughter an animal that we're about to eat. They are grateful. They're not fighting. I have a chicken now that we bought to eat maybe 6 months ago. We decided to just release it in the compound. Every day, I'm telling you, that chicken is so grateful. Like, and it's confused as well.
Because he was just raised.
Yeah.
To be a meat.
Yeah, it's actually a rooster. He was raised to be eaten, but we decided to leave him. And he doesn't crow like the other ones. So the other ones will every morning, cuckoo, and I'm in a meeting with international clients, right? I can't have a rooster going cuckoo. So everyone that went cuckoo ended up in the pot. But this specific one is very gentle. So we left it. Every day he wakes up, he's very grateful, but he's confused. But he will come to us and play with us like it's a pet. When the time comes that he's going to go and meet his maker, he's not going to fight. And I've experienced that even with turkeys, with goats, with rabbits. It's amazing when you look after your own meat, because they get to expel some of the antibiotics in their body, some of the chemicals that they've been fed with. The taste is just amazing.
I can see that you are very passionate about food as much as, yeah, but I think we all want to know what is the story behind that? How come she became so passionate about Nigerian cuisine?
Oh, so it started actually my journey with the Nigerian cuisine. It started a long time ago, even before I met David. When I say anywhere that I fall in love with Nigerian food first before I met my husband, this is absolutely true. Yeah?
The food she's cooking is not because she's with a Nigerian man. She will cook it and eat it. Not every video you see online when my wife says, "Hello, my people, I'm going to cook this for my Nigerian husband." It's not all of them I eat though. Sometimes I'll be at work or I'll be on the site and my friends will send me a picture. Bros, you are enjoying the wife cooked it. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, I did not see this yesterday.
It was when you were building a house and he was away for like 3 days here where I was on the island. So we are just in the freezer.
So if I go to the office and they cook something nice and everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah.
But sorry, go on.
Let's come back to that question. Yeah, I remember I had the Nigerian neighbors and there was a Polish lady married to a Nigerian man. And they actually one day fed me a goosey. They served a goosey. I tried a goosey with pounded yam, and oh, that was amazing. From that time, I started to wait for opportunity to visit them all the time whenever they were cooking Nigerian food, especially when see, because that was my favorite soup.
Mine too, actually. I love a goosey.
And then I started when I met David. I remember I did not tell him about the Nigerian food, but when he came, I think it was after, on our
First time I came to your place.
first time when he came to my house. It was after like few days. I cooked for him as a surprise. That stockfish, the smell. And when he entered the house, he felt like he's coming to his mom's house. So that was a trick. There was no going back.
It didn't work.
Huh? It worked.
It didn't work.
Yes, it worked. Because later you sent me flowers and the cards and thanking me for a goosey.
I don't even remember.
Wow.
So-
You remember, David?
I enjoyed the food. It was nice. It felt like I was going to my mom's house. It was weird. I opened the door, and because of the places I've lived in the UK, I've not dated a lot of Nigerians. Not intentionally. It's just where I lived, where I worked, there were not many black people. And the only place I go to where I smell stockfish is in my mom's house. So I opened the door. I'm like, I must be in a woman's house. That's not my mom or this girl I'm talking to. I wanted to close the door and run back out. And I finally saw her and I thought, this is weird. But it was good. It was really good. I have to say thank you.
And then because of him, I started to learn more. He was the one teaching me how to cook. So I improved.
You're much better than me, though.
Huh?
You are like,
We say in Poland that the way to your man's heart is through the stomach. So I think, David, you have been enjoying all.
now, I think after so many years together and seeing that, because I try to go against that proverb that a way to a man's heart is his stomach. I'm like, my stomach will never be the way to my heart. I'm saying that as a Christian. So I listened to my mom and let her teach me how to cook properly. Alicia is the first woman I've ever been with that I can say, yes, she can cook so many things that I can't cook. So even after we were married, after we were settled, I was still fighting that I would not rely on her food or not let her get to it through her food. Boy, yeah, she got to it through her food.
On behalf of
that this food-
Nigerians, I just wanted to say that on behalf of all Nigerians, we are grateful to you because I don't know any other that cooks as based on your videos that cooks as much and eats this food that I would not even eat. I love Nigerian cooking, but the part of the food that you sometimes eat, I would not be able to eat that. So on the behalf of the Nigerian nations, I will say it in Yoruba, we appreciate the promotion and your love and everything you do to support the Nigerian culture and especially the Yoruba culture. So thank you.
Thank you. I have already received my award. So I feel
As an
appreciated.
ambassador, yes? You got an award as an ambassador.
Intercultural culinary ambassador.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Congratulations. I just have the last question, and I would like Alicia to start, please. What is the advice of yours to intercultural couple yourself if they are in the beginning of the journey or in the middle of the journey and they have some struggles?
I think it was beneficial that David was raised in England, so he was more British than even Nigerian. He was willing to work. If I had the idea to, for example, do parenting course together, he would be happy to do it. We were both willing to work through the differences. Yeah, but
Thank you.
I want to say this. I think what you're trying to say is that the exposure, because you two, I'm glad that you're in the UK, right? Because imagine if we met in Poland. I know you would want to actually come to Nigeria with me. You are willing to come to Nigeria from England because you've already made the first move. You made from Poland to England. So in that regard, you're willing to explore different cultures, I think. So yeah, it's beneficial that I was raised in a different environment. It's just the version of Nigerians that you experience now. Many of them are trying to be like the West, like Americans. So a lot of the men are not Złotarączka as they would have been like 100 years ago.
Yeah, he was open to take
Yeah.
action.
For me, I would say Polish women are a different breed. Yes, like Polish breed and a lot of work.
He said that if you will ask him if he will marry Polish woman, he would say no.
That was a lot. I didn't know it's a lot of work. I think what I've learned now is that I'll be teaching my sons that before you marry someone, don't just get to know the person or their family, get to know the history of the country. Infidelity is rife in Nigeria at the moment. Apparently, 50 to 60% of women in Nigeria confirm that they've cheated on their husbands. It's ridiculous. And obviously, it's going to be much higher, even if they were asking men. And the same thing it applies in the UK. Don't just look at the person you are with. I had no idea that the country's history can have so much on my own relationship. I like Poland, but I don't intend to live in Poland. I know a lot of the history because I studied it, but I'm in a better place. I understand what she doesn't even know why she does some of the things she does or why she believes in a certain way.
He helped me to understand my own.
That's good.
behavior.
Yeah. And when I told her in the early days, and I said, babe, this thing you are doing is interesting. This is what the rest of the world is doing. She will say, no. And then she will say, oh, it's because you are just black or you are Nigerian. And me, I'm European. I'll say, no, wait. I've had my fair share of the global landscape. It's like in a diverse country like the UK, England, you've experienced different, everybody's there hustling. Yeah, it's Polish women, you are separate to Indian women or American women. Yeah, so a man certainly needs to understand the history of that country. It's beneficial. If you start from there, you can decide if you can deal with not just the woman or the family, if you can deal with the culture, not from the present day perspective, but from an historical perspective.
I have no idea that this is affecting me.
Okay.
My ancestors were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's a lot better now. And her mom was able to tell her a lot of things. I explained what life was like when she was growing up, which was shocking to her. For example, her mom knew what it was like to experience rations. Is it your mom or your grandma?
My grandma.
Yeah, grandma knew what it was like to experience rations because of the war. You say that to an American or a British person, they'll be like, well, what are you on about? I can't even imagine what it would be like to be with a German. I think that would be a different conversation entirely. Because I'm here talking about being with a Polish. I can't imagine with a German woman.
Yeah, when I was born, you had to go to the shop with your ticket.
Really?
I think
You experienced that or your mom?
No, when I was a baby.
But there are good sides and I suppose, I won't say bad sides, but the good thing is that your spouse, being an interracial couple, she will never be able to understand how to get to you like someone from the same culture. I can't imagine me being with a Nigerian or Yoruba person that would look at me and say, your papa. Ma, you can't, not because you're not, you probably have more anger than a lot of Nigerian women. I know you said, but she can't express that in a way that it will affect him. She can swear at me. And that's how I learned, and I learned Polish first by the swear words.
That's the way.
But someone from your culture, your background can definitely get to you in such a way that it would hurt you. But then in the same way, she will never be able to understand some nuances about your own person. You always have to communicate. Communication is so important. If you are from the same culture, there's a limit to the enjoyment that you will experience. Your enjoyment is limited in your culture. If you've not seen something, you both are not exposed to it, you won't be able to.
You won't learn about yourself as well.
Oh, exactly. Because you take things for granted in your own culture. But when you are married into a different culture, she essentially becomes a mirror. That's some bad habits that are embedded into certain cultures that are seen as acceptable. For example, infidelity is acceptable in many spheres. I would say in my culture, right? Some people, they will say in Rome, I'm not going to interpret this because I don't want it to be panicking. But all these things in front of someone that was not that was not born into your culture. She's like, say again, or you are your what? You want to your it is the I'm never going to go to it. But you're right, people be watching this and thinking, yes, it will be crazy the way you will understand it. But yeah. And then I think eventually what both parties would then be able to do is left to drop the bad habits in your own culture that you otherwise would have, I would have condoned if I was Polish. And then you end up with good behaviors. And sometimes the longer you are together, your spouse from different culture will learn some of the bad habits that she's seen around her. If you know the amount of Nigerian women that are saying she keep money from me, I'm like, you guys keep your nonsense, or the ones that are encouraging her to buy wig.
To buy wig.
Ask her. Huh?
For her.
Thank you. To buy wig, because now she's getting closer with the culture. That even though she's not, people need to understand this. It's actually possible for your white woman or your white man to become more Nigerian in a way that annoys you as a Nigerian. So it's us putting our foot down and saying, actually, no, babes, I've actually bought her a few because they said she should. And she was wearing.
You're saying I came to Nigeria to suffer.
Oh, yeah. And they say she came to Nigeria to. If you want interesting, in Nigeria, eating fish is seen as a sign of poverty, right? That if you were rich, you'd be eating meat is actually more expensive than fish. But you and I know that in Europe, meat is cheap. It's fish that's expensive because fish is healthy. There's, in a way, there's a limit to how many fish you can actually get. But with meat, you can just breed them. Like with chicken, you can speed up the process, have a chicken born today, 3 months later, it's on your table.
Yeah, like here in Yoruba, people, they're looking down on showerfish in Yoruba, showerfish. It's slightly expensive. We only eat it twice a year.
Really?
For Christmas. To buy even in the shop, a small little container of that showerfish would be expensive. The cheapest fish you can get in Nigeria. And they look down like, oh, you eating this? Oh.
My favorite one is caviar. When I met my wife, she was talking about caviar. It's for rich people. There were a few things that she asked me. She wanted to go to a fancy ball. She wanted to have caviar and all these crazy things. She loves soft hands. And then I actually bought it for her. I said, you want caviar? Okay, there you go.
My daddy was feeding me with caviar.
If your daddy was feeding you with caviar, you wanted it for you want to make sure I can buy it. When I bought it, why didn't you eat it? That's when I realized that in Europe, caviar is basically fish egg. Here in Nigeria, fish egg is seen as disgusting. It's crazy how the two cultures respect and devalue certain things. But because we're together, we're able to see from the other person's perspective. I've bought caviar in the UK. Small thing like this, 20 pounds. Now I'm in Nigeria. Whenever I buy fish and I see eggs in it, I treasure it. Because that was caviar that I spent 20 pounds for. And it's in a small tin. Now you can get a lot of it. So yeah, it's worth it. I think it's worth it. It's challenging. And if you are someone too attached to some trauma in your family, maybe you are a mommy's boy, you've not fought some battles in your own family. By fighting some battles, put your foot down so your family know what your preferences. I remember when I was getting my father wanted, I said, I don't subscribe to that. I don't see the point in it. We had a bit of an issue. I said, okay, if you are paying for it, I will wear. So they actually ordered it to the UK. You know what happened? It was held up by DHL. They did not receive it until after the wedding. I say, God of wonders. But thank God that we've had those conversations then, right? And it's helped so that now that we say we want to move to Nigeria, they could have said what? And if my father said, no, he was forbidding me from going, whilst I'm the head of my own home, there might be spiritual consequences. But because he knew that these people are crazy, and some of the things that I want to do is different from the way he would do it. But I've tested that conversation. He did not oppose. When it came to our bush, again, he did not oppose. A man has to go through that journey in his own home. That's why the Bible says a man shall leave his father. It doesn't make sense because he's the man that's supposed to have a house, right? His father and mother. It is not physically. You are leaving them psychologically, mentally. You need to have some fights with them before you go and settle. Especially if you want to marry Igbo. If you are not used to having difficult conversations with your own siblings, don't even bother. Because then the other person from different culture will become an enemy, even though the person is probably right. They will become the enemy because then they'll be fighting battles that you should have fought.
Thank you, David and Alicia. I really appreciate your time. So if you want to learn how to cook a delicious Nigerian food, please, we will put the handle of Alicia down there in the description. If you are looking for the financial advisor, please contact David as well. Yeah. So I really enjoyed this conversation. I love to learn about people living a different way of life than myself. So that's the reason why I said I have learned a lot, because I think there's a lot of things that you guys doing very right. I hope that other couples will be able to learn from this interview as well. Thank you, guys. And I wish you all the best.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.